get your mind together.
Tonight on The Experience, let's begin by talking about what is happening at St. Peter Marian. And so glad that you could come by, tell us a little bit about all the new and exciting things that are going on. You're still fairly new and exciting in a way as well. How long have you been heading up?
So this has been 1 year and a couple of months. So, you know, not quite a veteran, but out of the rookie status. So, but yeah, so it's been very exciting.
Well, tell us about this last year.
This has been an exhilarating year for me, and being part of a community that is so much connected in family and faith, and that kind of a home environment has really been helpful for me, and has kind of, you know, brought me as part of the family, and being a part of really connecting some great opportunity for kids and for staff. So it's been very, very fulfilling, and I'm blessed.
And you use that word too, connected, and the word blessed as well, quite frankly. Those are words that, are we starting to lose those a little bit in our society today? That the internet and people looking down at their phones, that in one way we're connected more, in another way we don't seem to be maybe connecting as much on a personal level. Here you are in your high school years when you should be hanging out with your buddies, and sports such a big part of the legacy and the foundation there as well, and faith at St. Peter Marian as well. I think that there's a lot of Americans who feel that maybe we're losing some of that right now.
Sure, and I think that part of what we offer is we have that small kind of environment in where it's one in where we are kind of that family. You're getting that personalized education, so that we have class sizes that are small in the sense that our teachers get to know each student. We understand their academic, their spiritual, their extracurricular needs, and we provide that for them because we get to know each student, which is very helpful. So when we share with and we open up our doors to new families, as we are this Saturday for our open house, and I will talk a little bit about, that's going to be an important message that we want to convey, that this is a school in where your student will be not one that is just a number, rather one that really has an identity that we will be able to understand and support, all of us together as a team. And so when we talk about connecting, I think that is something that we do well because we have that environment where we ensure students are connected with each other, with staff, through activities, through academic initiatives, through spiritual initiatives as well. And that's what makes us special, and that's why it's such a special institution.
Yeah, and so when people come to that open house, what do you think that they're looking for? I mean, education, obviously.
Sure.
But let's stay on this theme of one thing that they're looking for when they come is maybe to be part of something where they can collect a little bit more, where maybe it is a little bit smaller, and this religious education. I mean, I guess I'm kind of hung up on this idea that in 2017, for some people that might be boy, that's corny, that's a turnoff. Others are looking for that. And some people, I'm sure, come walking through the door and say, hey, I think that's great. Whether they're Catholic or not, or do you have to? Do you have to be?
You do not have to be. We have many faiths, and what I think we hear regularly from parents is that whereas in other institutions they not be getting that whole connection to values, we're providing that for our students. But we're doing it in a way not only it teaches, but it brings students in, it brings parents in to the spirituality. And we do that in multiple ways, whether it be through such things as service back to community. We bring the community in for liturgies and celebrations. We had back in January our Police and Fire Mass. We're going to make that an annual event where police and firemen, whether they graduated from St. Peter Marian or not, they come to a Mass and we celebrate their contributions giving back to the community. That's something that we want to instill, that it's so important to value those that give back, and we put our students in position to give back to the community as well, whether it be through food drives or fundraising to help hurricane victims. We just had a very successful drive in where we raised some funds and some supplies for young mothers. Thanksgiving is coming up. We're going to be on the forefront of ensuring that folks have a Thanksgiving meal. Those types of things, we bring that all together. And we can connect it to something that is bigger, the whole idea of that Catholic identity, which is so important. And we provide that for them. And so we're one in where we're opening our doors to new families to say, come on in and be a part of that celebration.
Yeah, really be living, just this living example through what the work that you're doing and
Right.
through the work that you do in the community. I want to come back to that in just a moment, but let's hear a little bit more about the open house that's coming up on Saturday.
So we have our open house this Saturday, October 28th from 9 to 12. So we're welcoming anybody to come in to learn more about St. Peter Marian, whether you have a rising 7th grade or a 9th grader or not. Come find out what we're all about. And we're going to have our doors open. We will have tours. We will have different exhibits. We're going to have our new library is going to be up and running on that day, which will include not only a collaboration space, but it's going to have a maker space. So we're going to have we have a 3D printer, and we're going to take people through the design process and how that works. Again, kind of showcasing our being on the forefront of STEM education, science, technology, engineering, mathematics. And advanced manufacturing. So we're going to have that there in the library. We'll have our STEM lab also has a 3D printer. We're going to have that up and running as well. They're going to see that they will have experiences in where not only we're going to make them college ready, but also make them career ready. And some of these types of positions in engineering are going to be very important. So they'll see that. They'll see our spirituality and how that is carried out in practice. Our academic programs, we will showcase some of our innovative new initiatives coming on board with collaboration and 21st century learning. We have to be able to, our athletic programs and our current ones that are very successful, and our new ones, such as our girls hockey program, which is coming online next month. We have much to share, and we're very excited about it. We have so much that 3 hours really isn't enough, but we're going to be able to provide that. And then afterwards, we're encouraging families to stick around or come back and go get a hot dog and go get a ticket to the football game. And we're playing a home game there, so we're going to make it a day for
really
all
cutting edge. All right, well, we're going to talk more about this. We're going to
Sure.
talk more about the St. Peter Marian community, the athletics, which are such a big part of that,
Yes.
the alumni, and the way in which they're out in the community. And we'll do it all straight ahead, right here on the Hank Stolz Experience.
Welcome to We Hear You, our public service announcements. A recent study from Johns Hopkins has indicated that hearing loss can increase the risk of developing dementia by 200 to 500%. Fortunately, recent evidence from Columbia University has found that treating hearing loss can slow or possibly prevent this development of dementia. Call today for your free dementia risk evaluation. And thank you for listening to We Hear You.
Just like in baseball, good sports reporting relies on the bullpen. There are days when our front man just doesn't have his stuff anymore.
What is he doing? This is rude. I think it's Grafton. It could be Bartlett. It's a green and white team.
You don't have it tonight. You're done.
Son of a bitch. I f***ing have it. Tell me I don't
I can still bring it.
Yes, time. All right, that's actually Bartlett versus Milbury, and it's Todd DeShane from Milbury.
I'm just glad I can be a role guy here.
Hi, I'm Dale LePage.
And I'm Jennifer Ankowiak from Charter TV3's entertainment show WooTube.
Be sure to tune into WooTube every month for local music and comedy videos.
Few and far between are on the screen.
Interviews with local venue owners and upcoming events in your area.
It's your music and comedy videos, all the events you want to attend, and all the places you want to be.
WooTube.
Membership in Commerce Bank's Royal 50s Club has so many great benefits, like exciting travel opportunities to destinations from Paris and London to the Caribbean, as well as local trips to New York shows, New Hampshire and Maine. You'll also enjoy fun parties and unique informative seminars. You too should join Commerce Bank's Royal 50s Club at any Commerce Bank location and receive preferred Royal 50s Club banking products and rates.
Up in the morning and out to school. The teacher is teaching the golden rule. American history and practical math.
You are invited to learn more this Saturday at the open house at St. Peter Marian, and just talking about it and the fact that it really is. You were talking about STEM and the fact that that you have all the cutting edge. I mean, you want to stay right here in this community. Kids are being trained to go on, obviously, to 4-year schools or the training that they are receiving, those are the jobs that are actually available right here in central Massachusetts. So it's so important. And the campus itself is a beautiful, beautiful campus. A little bit of a mixture of sort of the old and the new, and always something new happening. Tell us a little bit about the campus.
So the campus is a merger of two schools, St. Peter and Marion. And actually, when I was on last year, I was talking about our 40th anniversary, which we did celebrate over the course of last year. The merger of St. Peter and Marion High Schools in 1976 at 781 Grove Street, which is one that kind of blends, as you say, the Catholic tradition. We have a chapel and other components of that really define it as a Catholic institution. Kind of set up on a hill, and we have great grounds, athletic facilities, and others that give a sense of you're almost kind of a little piece of God's country almost on the border of Holden. We have an attractive grounds that really kind of inspire some learning and some good learning.
And as you had really alluded to earlier as well, it's the smaller classroom. So it is, for a lot of people, it's just kind of that right size, and it's I don't know, it's like the Three Bears here. It's not too small,
right?
Not too big, but it's just right for a lot of people who are sort of wanting to make sure that their kids don't get lost. And I guess I'm struck by this. It's not just, some parents I'm sure are going because it's part of the Catholic tradition. Some kids are going because they feel that the smaller class size will give them more education. Some are going because, as you're talking about, you have many of these state of the art, and that's what they want to make sure that their kids are able to have that type of equipment. So there's all these different reasons really that people are coming. You had also earlier mentioned the athletics, and that is a reason that people.
We're really excited about the direction of our athletic program. Certainly our fall teams are very successful. Football team is going to have a very successful fall as we continue on. But we're really excited about our new girls hockey program that we will have begin just after Thanksgiving. Will be the first practice. Wow. And the girls hockey and our boys hockey program will be practicing at Worcester Ice, which I know you're familiar with, is up and running now actually. And it's we were just there.
I've seen your banner.
And you've seen the banner, and the ice logo as well is there. So we feel very connected to the facility, and I think connected to kind of the vibrancy of Worcester and the revitalization of that area of Worcester as all of downtown Worcester is as well.
Tell me a little bit more about this. The Railers have actually gotten involved with St. Peter Marion.
They have, yes. And through my connections with business and industry, which was a kind of a new approach at St. Peter Marion by the heads of school, I met the owner of the Railers, Cliff Rucker, at a Chamber of Commerce event. We struck up a conversation that led to a meeting in his office, and I said with Cliff, I really want to be partnered with you, and I want to be connected to the Railers organization, and of course the new ice that is coming up in the Worcester Ice Center. He said, you know what, I just happen to have 2 sheets of ice. He goes, do you want them? I said, I would love to have them. And so we kind of had further conversations and came up with an agreement, and shared with Cliff that I wanted to start a girls program. Cliff was moved by that and donated $5,000 for startup costs. So our uniforms and some equipment were paid for by that donation. So the Railers have been an organization that really, for us, it's kind of a win-win. We're helping promote them, but they've been really helpful for us to be able to get solidified and kind of take our hockey programs and kind of bring them back to some of the glory days in the 1980s or so, but giving our teams state-of-the-art facilities. And with that, too, that led to a conversation with Mike Cavino, the CEO of Niche Hospitality, who has a state-of-the-art training facility, Peak Fitness, right in Worcester Ice, and he has donated $5,500 for training for our hockey teams. And so our athletes will be able to train there in his facility. And if you've seen that, that is amazing. You have a treadmill with synthetic ice, and the hocky player gets hooked up to the treadmill.
Oh, really? I have not seen that. I mean, I've been inside, but
I want to actually try it.
Yeah.
I think it would be exciting to try that, and where you can look at speed, agility training.
Yeah.
It'll really put our players in a great position. These are all partnerships, and these are all manifested by some of those industry partnerships that I was able to develop through this new approach, this new governance model, in where we see a value add for business and industry partnerships. And
what do you think it is about the message that you have brought them? As you said, this is sort of some new territory that you brought them about St. Peter Marion, that you have gotten this type of an enthusiastic response.
It's any type of agreement that you have or partnership should be a win-win for both sides. It's something that we believe that we have a commitment to the Railers, to niche hospitality, to promote and work with them as well. And so we've had other events with the Railers, and where not only St. Peter Marian students, but diocesan-wide, there will be events that all Catholic school students will be able to participate with some Railers games. We value that, and we want to work hard to be able to help promote them just as they're promoting us as well. Right. So we really do value that whole industry partnership with schools. So we want it to be an experience in where they can gain some value as well. We have a new partnership with Unibank. Unibank is going to be providing our new financial literacy programs for our students, and those are partnerships that help Unibank. They help St. Peter Marian. We're going to value our students are going to have valuable financial literacy experience that they're not getting right now. And
that part is fantastic, because you're right. I mean, that we just look around and we know that people are in trouble later in life.
Absolutely.
Because for whatever reason, we I don't know, they talk about the kids going off to college and they think that, oh, I get my first credit card and it's free money.
That's right. That's
right.
Wait
a minute. What's
exactly.
This bill
right. Exactly.
Yeah.
That's so. That's something that if we can get them kind of in tune with that early, we'll I think preparing them for kind of these life skills.
We only have a minute left. What else do we need to know?
Unibank has generously donated an electronic messaging center that will be out on Grove Street. It was a $30,000 donation, and the balance of those funds will be used from our gala that we had last April. So we're excited to have that up and running within a month or so. Again, the business and industry partnerships adding value to both institutions, and we're so grateful for Unibank and for the sign company Sunshine Signs out of Grafton, who both of which are our new partners. So we're excited about that.
Boy, that is fantastic. And again, we've got the open house coming up on Saturday. Thank you so much. We appreciate your being here with us,
Hank,
as always. And we have much more to come right here on the Hank Stolz Experience.
I'm doing all right, getting good grades, the future's so bright. I gotta wear shades, I gotta wear shades.
You can't get Worcester weather from a Boston TV station. The sun could be shining in downtown Boston, but the weather can be very different here in Worcester. People tell me all the time how much they count on our weather forecast, and we know how important that is to our Worcester News Tonight viewers. Each weekday, we'll give you your weather, your 10-day forecast for right here in Worcester, only on Worcester News Tonight.
Worcester's only local forecast, weeknights on Worcester News Tonight.
Scoreless into the third, and that's when Smith makes a great diving catch, jubilant diving catch, redonkulous diving catch, super duper diving catch.
That was sensational.
Sensational diving catch.
Local news from Central Massachusetts for Central Massachusetts.
A tractor-trailer truck stuck under a bridge on Webster Street in Worcester.
The police broke up a fight at a gas station on Chandler Street.
Police say a group of women assaulted the 35-year-old victim, allegedly burning her with cigarettes.
Police say there was a direct threat to the school.
Reporters in the field. And an in-depth local forecast. Worcester News Tonight on Charter TV3.
Building a successful business is a lot like perfecting your golf game. You need to know your marketplace and your competition. You need to have the right tools and be aware of the challenges you'll face. And most importantly, you need to work with the right people to help you put it all together. At Commerce Bank, we have the commercial loan products and experienced lenders who know how to win. Isn't it time for you to take your business to the top of the leaderboard?
All right, there was more that I wanted to find out, and I felt like instead of having you back sometime in the near future, let's just keep
Sounds
rolling
great.
here. So
Sounds
I appreciate you sticking around. And
Sure.
I am fascinated now by the fact that the businesses are really getting involved. And I think it says a lot. You said a moment ago that you also want to be part of the Renaissance. And just listening to the people who have stepped up, just those few businesses that you gave us and have donated what I think are some pretty substantial funds. I mean, obviously a $30,000 sign,
Yes.
$5,500 from Niche Hospitality, $5,000 from Cliff Rucker and the Railers. These are significant. These are significant amounts that can really do a tremendous amount. But it all seems to be going to this whole of Worcester on the move, Worcester, kind of making sure that it's going to be all inclusive. And I'm just wondering, as you're dealing with these businesses and with these business people, what is that conversation about the quote-unquote Worcester Renaissance like?
I think that the conversations all are connected to St. Peter Marion is going through a renaissance as well, and that we want to be connected and partnered with those that are heading in the same direction. So I talk about such things as our new approach to connecting with business and industry, our renewed approach to ensuring that our alumni is connected to the school, our new goals for what we're looking for fundraising, our events that will support that, events that give back to the community. Those types of conversations in where that, look, we're doing the same thing. We have that, and we want to be partnered with innovative, forward-thinking businesses and industry. It's a way for both of us to be able to move forward and kind of do some really creative initiatives. And so that's why I think that really is the premise of any of those conversations.
And as you just said, the forward thinking as well. And for any kind of an institution that has a rich history, that can be a blessing. But it is also the kind of thing where sometimes, and I'm sure that you have alumni who nobody wants anything to change.
Sure.
But to continue to attract people, you need to keep moving forward and continuing to present yourself as modern in 2017.
Absolutely. Clearly, academics, we are always embracing innovation. We're always embracing new approaches to learning. Our library, for example, is going to be part of it. It's going to be a collaboration center in where students will be able to go. They meet in groups, but the tables will pull apart so they can meet in subgroups. You have a 3D printer where there can be a creative conversations and a maker space, and where students will start actually, before they even get to the 3D printer, they're going to be designing stuff with pipe cleaners and clay and cotton balls, and kind of making almost kind of a replica of what it is they want to create before they even get to the computer as well. So those types of learning experiences are valuable. We do all that and move forward. That academics with athletics, we're always looking to move forward and add and enhance. But what stays the same is the spirituality. That never changes, and that never will change. That's our bedrock, that's our foundation. So we can do all of these things and have a learning environment that is innovative, that sparks creativity, that really brings out and helps realize full potential. But the bedrock of the spirituality, that'll always stay the same.
And that does seem to be, I mean, everybody, all parents and educators are just searching for what is going to reach young people. You don't want young people to be too bored. You don't want, I know that we just are going through a phase right now where our MCAS maybe isn't exactly where we want it to be this time around. Can you give us a little bit of what is the difference? Because we might, I'm not sure that I know, difference between public schools, you're part of the public school system, or you're separate from it, or, some of the charter schools, the way in which, there are just homeschooling, there's just so many options out there for parents who might say, I don't know, how do I know which one is best for my child?
Yeah, and that's where we are a private school. We are affiliated with the Diocese of Worcester, and we are ones that it's a faith driven, and that spirituality, that Catholic identity is our foundation. And that's what sets us apart from perhaps other charter schools.
Even though you don't have to be Catholic to
You do not.
attend.
No, you do not. No, we have multiple faiths, but we are all blended together and are embracing the same value system, which is something that makes us.
How does that work when they're in religion class?
When we have a student that is, students all take theology, but they're all being taught the values piece in theology. It's, certainly we do teach Catholic doctrine, and we're connecting it to Catholic teachings, but it's all in the scope of this is what a values education program looks like. And not only it's sitting in class learning theology, but how can you put that into practice in service to community, in treating each other and how we treat each other. We can now connect it with a message, a strong message that is rooted in the foundation of Catholic teachings. For every faith, that is something that is so important, especially in this society. We started talking about how kids are connected in the internet, and we need to be able to prepare them spiritually and with a strong values base that counteracts that. And we have years of tradition where
I'm glad we had a little bit more time to talk, because I did want to circle back to something you had said earlier too about the work that you do out in the community, that students are doing out in the community, and that's part of this about giving back and this life lesson of you do have to give back. We just saw where all of our former living presidents have come together, for example, to call on us to help with the victims of these 1, 2, 3 terrible storms that we were hit with, and Puerto Rico just absolutely devastated. And that's the kind of service that you are involved in on a community level.
And we teach our students that ultimately there's a broader responsibility than ourselves, and we're teaching them to think globally, think spiritually as to what would Jesus do for a hurricane victim? What would Jesus do for someone who might not have a Thanksgiving dinner or a Christmas holiday? Connecting it with the values that we teach them, they're armed with that as they go out into the community and kind of energized by wanting to give back. And that's the important component of when we're teaching theology and teaching Catholic identity. We want our students to be practicing in action. And that's, give them opportunities to be able to be successful in that.
You talked about the 40-year gala being just last year. When you saw the people who came back for that and that celebration, the teaching that they have received, and now many of them have gone out and had their careers and are probably retired. What do you think is that lasting legacy of a St. Peter Marian education?
The alumni that came back for our gala, which was to celebrate our 40th anniversary, but we're going to do it every year now. So we have one April 7th, 2018. So anybody can come and attend and be a part of that. But our community certainly is proud to be able to have that event. The event you don't want to miss is what we're saying for our parents, alumni, but anybody in the community. They came back. We had it right at the school too. We had it right in the gym. We kind of transformed the gym into this kind of like, this really kind of upscale facility and event, and kind of gave it that sense of the upscale event that we were looking for. But it also brought back a lot of memories. And some alumni, they hadn't been in that building for many years. They could go and look in the gym and say, oh, that's where I shot that three-point shot to win the game. That's where I experienced a very enriching English discussion about a novel. It was so important to bring alumni back, and that was the key kind of one of my key initiatives is to reconnect with alumni, bring them back. This is your home, this is your family. Let's come on back here. And so I think the gala, not only was it successful in our fundraising goals, but it also was successful in our family raising goals for our alumni, and really made some strong connections that we're building upon.
We have a minute left. Let's tell people one more time about where they should show up at St. Peter Marian. I guess that part's obvious.
That's right.
But when they should show up, how they can connect to this open house, and therefore connecting to maybe being able to get a good feel for the kind of education that their kids would get.
Certainly come 781 Grove Street from 9 to 12, but for more information you can give us a call at 508-852-5555, and we'll connect you with our admissions director who will be able to help more information, or any of us for that matter. We're all involved in promoting a great open house online at spmguardians.org, on Facebook at St. Peter Marian. You can follow us on Twitter at SPMinfo, or my Twitter at SPMPrez, P-R-E-Z. You'll find tons of information. So multiple ways to be able to connect and find out more, learn more about our open house. But come on Saturday, come spend a morning with us, have a free hot dog, get a free ticket to our football game, make it a day of it. Learn more why St. Peter Marian is everybody's home and family.
And a great family outing, you're right.
It sure is.
Great family outing for everybody.
Right.
Hey, Chris, thank you so much
thank
for
you,
coming
Hank.
by.
I appreciate
really
it.
appreciate it.
Enjoyed our
As
conversation. Yep.
Always, thank you for being here on the Hank Stolz Experience.